if you want a ticket for the Chelsea game in there, you'll come in, you'll have a 3-course meal, good standard of cuisine, you get a nice choice on the menu, a drink before the game, drink at half time, seat out here, nice padded seat, free programme, £500 plus VAT for one seat. And they will sell out. Not to the average supporter, but companies buy them. Companies will say, yeah, I'll have 10 for the Chelsea game, West Ham, here's a great big check. And then they invite their customers in and wine and dine them in front of a football game. That makes sense? So all of this area is hospitality. Where it says this is the world stage, there are 8 corporate boxes under there. There are 8 at that end. Each box has 10 seats. It's got its own kitchen, it's got its own bar, it's got its own little meeting room in there. Companies will pay tens of thousands of pounds to rent one of those rooms. But it's theirs then, they've got 10 seats outside, they can bring in 10 guests and use that for the actual game. You're outside the Royal East, there's another bar like this or another area like this where it says London Stadium there. That one's called the Arnold Hills. The maroon seats in the middle here, that's the director's box. Karen Brady, David Sullivan, all the major West Ham shareholders sit there. You cannot buy a ticket there, that's invite only. So when we get the teams who've got famous supporters, so when Manchester City come, we get Liam Gallagher sat in there. When we had Ipswich here last year, Ed Sheeran sat in there. You get the TV personalities. You can't buy a ticket to say that's all invite. So if you're looking, you're bored during a game and you want to go star spotting, that's the area you'd actually go and look. Right? So this strip, hospitality. Going a bit further, all the way around the stadium, the top tier where you're sat is fixed seating. The bottom tier, totally configurable. Every one of these seats can be taken out, can be moved forward, can be moved backwards. If I tell you what we did last year, I'm going to skip this year, because this year we missed one vital ingredient. Last year, West Ham played their last game in May. Okay? First weekend of last June, so June 24, we had Major League Baseball in the stadium for the 3rd time. Can you imagine this in a baseball stadium? We had the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets played baseball here over a weekend. Then we had the first of our concerts. So it's a big music venue during the summer. And they take all the seats at that end of the ground at the bottom, they go away. They build stages, they put in screens, they put in lights. You can't then sell tickets at that end of the ground. So we put £20,000 on the pitch. So it makes this an 80,000 music venue. Yeah. Then we had monster trucks. They have American monster trucks that come in and we have lots of steam and smoke and noise. They drive around for a couple of nights. Then we had international athletics, we had the London Diamond League Athletics, and then we went back to football. So last year we went football, baseball, one gig, the first gig we did last year was the first gig. We had 2 different acts play, I can't remember who they were last year. Oh, we had Burna Boy and we had The Weekend. Foo Fighters last year, Burna Boy and Foo Fighters. So we went football, we went baseball, we went Burna Boy concert, Foo Fighters concert, monster trucks, athletics and football. 7 transformations of this stadium in one summer. And that's where a lot of the money goes to the stadium, not to West Ham. But it's why West Ham fans don't like the stadium, because it's got to be so configurable down here, you're sat further away from the pitch than they would like to actually be. And it's like a bowl, the stadium, so the higher you go up, the further you're away. If you go to the big European stadiums, the Bernabeu, Nou Camp, they're quite steep. So although you're going up, you're not going out. That makes sense? Right, so we got 4 different stands. You've got the Trevor Brooking stand, that's the away end of the ground. So when Manchester City come and play, that's where all their supporters will be. You've got the Billy Bond stand over there, largely home support. Bobby Moore stand, that end, that's the home end of the ground, that's the end West Ham want to attack in the second half. And this doesn't have a name, It's just really the hospitality area here. But up above, down below, these are the expensive season tickets. A lot of these season tickets come with lounge access and various other bits, which then cost a lot more money to actually sit. The roof covers all the seats in the ground, and there are 14 big lights built into the roof. For the Olympics, there were 14 lights on the outside of the roof, and they shone down like diamonds in a tiara on the stadium. Okay, I'm going to keep quiet. If you want to take some photos here, please do. We'll have a couple of minutes of photos, then we'll go inside. I'll tell you a little bit about West Ham, and then we're going to have a look in the changing rooms and that lot. Sound good? A long time, there was a company called Thames Ironworks. So Thames Ironworks, like the name suggests, were a big iron foundry. They made iron and steel. And a lot of the iron they made went into the London bridges. So the Westminster Bridge, the Royal Albert Bridge has steel that was made by Thames Ironworks in it. They also built ships for the Royal Navy. Their managing director was a man called Arnold Hills. Arnold Hills had been to Oxford University. He won an been in an FA Cup final for Oxford University against Wanderers. He won one England cap, amateur football, England against Scotland. He was a big, fit amateur sportsman. He was also very forward thinking. I mean, this is back in the 1800s. He wrote a book on vegetarianism in the 1800s on there, quite crazy. Anyway, he becomes managing director of Thames Ironworks. 7,000 employees, but he used to notice that people came to work, they went home, that there was no community, they didn't stay and talk to each other. So he floated the idea of starting a works football team. And in 1895, 70 people came forward and paid a little bit of their money, and they formed Thames Ironworks Football Club. And they played on a bit of rented ground down in Canning Town. Their badge, 2 crossed hammers. And these are the hammers they used to hit rivets into the steel with. Yeah? Still on the badge today. Only an amateur football team, they played local London games. But they progressed. They started to get quite good. They played in the London League, the Southern League. They wanted to join the Football League. Now Arnold Hills wasn't sure about professional sport. He was a big amateur sportsman. But he knew how important this team was to the community. So he made a deal with them. He'd already built them a football ground called the Memorial Ground down in Canning Town. It's a great big sports complex. So he said to them, he said, you can play here rent-free until you're established. He said, but 2 things, I'm not going to run it for you anymore. You need a new board of directors, and you can't have the name Thames Ironworks. So in 1900, almost overnight, Thames Ironworks Football Club withdrew from the Football League, and they were replaced by West Ham United Football Club. Same players, same ground, same strip, same badge, just a different name. And they played at the Memorial Ground till 1904. Arnold Hills was fed up of football, he was looking elsewhere. He said, guys, you need a new home. So he looked around London, and to cut a very long story short, they found a place called Green Street House in the West Upton Park district of London, and they bought the vegetable patch in the grounds of Green Street House. And over the next 112 years, that vegetable patch became the Boleyn Ground, Upton Park, where a lot of us grew up watching West Ham. And they played there from 1904 to 2016, when they moved here. First game they played here was a European qualifying game against NK Domzeli, an Eastern European team. West Ham had lost the first leg 1-0. And this was a team of part-time postmen or something. We got them back here and won the game 3-0 and qualified. And I'll show you one of the shirts from that game later on there. But that's it, that's really West Ham. So West Ham's nickname, the Hammers, the Irons, has got nothing to do with West Ham, which is a district of London. It all goes back to Thames Ironworks days and the hammers on the shirt and the irons coming from the iron foundry. Make sense? Yeah, little short story. We'll do some West Ham cheering later on if there's any West Ham fans here. I might have to cheer on my own. What we're going to do now is go downstairs, have a look at the players coming on match day. All good? The 2012 Olympics. He moves a bit faster than some of the West Ham players, so we might sign him later in the season, I think. Right, we're going to have a look at where the players come in on the match day. Yes, sir. West Ham fans is home. Turn that outside. West Ham will come through two doors on your right as you're looking at it. And if they talk to the press before a game, it'll be in front of this wall here. On the other side of the wall is all the advertising that the TV use and that one. So that turn round on a match day. You wait till you come through the other doors, nobody wants to talk to them. So they go through the blue doors at the end, all the way along the corridor, up and down the corridor and back to the away dressing room, which is also down there on the left. Right, so we just wear them out, send them around the stadium a little bit, which has got to be fair, really. Let me just talk to three West Ham players on the wall here. So this gentleman is Sir Trevor Brooking. So I named one of the stands is named after him, the away end of the ground. Trevor scored the winning goal in the 1980 Cup final. West Ham were a second division team that year, and Arsenal were up in the first division. West Ham won it 1-0, and are the last team outside of the top division to have won the FA Cup. Now that will probably happen again one day, but it hasn't for 45 years. Okay, so that's one little FA Cup record we got. Why is he on the wall? West Ham fans vote for their favourite player at the end of the season. You don't have to be the best. We like people that try, don't we? So if you come out and you try and put a lot of effort in, the fans love you. You could bring Lionel Messi in, and if he didn't want to play and started pouncing around on the pitch, no chance. The fans will not take him. Sir Trevor won Hammer of the Year 5 times, which is a record. We have Billy Bonds. Now Billy Bonds there, he's lifting the FA Cup in 1975. West Ham have just beaten Fulham 2-0 in the final. That was the last all-English team to win the FA Cup. They had one substitute, all 12 players and the manager were born in England. Not in Wales, not in Scotland, not in Ireland, they were all English. That will never happen again. Not with the international nature of football, and that was 50 years ago. So we haven't had an all-English team win the cup in 50 years. Why is he on the wall? Most appearances for West Ham. 799 games he played for West Ham. 799. Over 20 years he played here. Fantastic record, 799 games. The last player we talk about is this guy here. Absolutely. Every club's got one iconic player, and perhaps Bobby Moore is that for West Ham. There he is, 1964, West Ham had just beaten Preston North End 3-2 in the FA Cup final, West Ham winning it for the first time. He made his debut for West Ham aged 17. He was England captain at the age of 23. He played 620 games for West Ham, 108 games for England. Now sadly Bobby's life was racked with cancer throughout, and he passed away in 1993. He was only 51 years old. Now West Ham are very close to the Bobby Moore Cancer Charity and raise money for it each year. But in 2008, they took an unusual move for football of retiring his shirt number. He was number 6 for West Ham. Nobody at West Ham will ever wear number 6 again. When we go in the away dressing room at the end of the tour, I'll show you a shirt of his, just got the number 6 on the back. So if you ever see a West Ham shirt with 6, you know by default it's Bobby Moore. Yeah? We go and have a look at the changing room. Team here, we've got a Robbie Williams shirt that he played in. Anybody seen Ted Lasso on the telly? Ted Lasso, right? So a lot of that's filmed in the stadium here. When we go to the away dressing room, you'll see that the look on the telly is showing this Ted Lasso. You might recognise some of it, she walks through the bed.
Top not a show. I'm a show.
That's all right, isn't it?
Whoa.
Well, we'll have all the pictures in here later on. They'll put all the pictures on the wall. I know, they're one thing to think a show on the thing there. Lille the other day, yeah, we have plenty home games, yeah. So after Saturday, we'll have Chelsea's programmes lying around somewhere. If you're around next week, pop in and see if we can find you one. Okay, this is where we get as many people as we can into as small an area as we can, which is always good fun. So we've got a special surprise for you today as well. It's the first day that I've been in when this certain object has been in the building. I'll tell you what it is in a minute.
I know what it is.
You know what it is? How do you know what it is and no one else does?
Conference League Cup.
It's a full-size dinosaur.
See?
No, it's not. It's a real dinosaur. There we go. So this is the manager's office. So Graham Potter, current manager, he would use this on a match day. So again, this is rented space. So West Ham have said, as part of our commitment, playing here and that lot, we want to rent this space out. So this is his. At the end of the season, all the West Ham branding goes. If you come back later in the season, you'll have West Ham pictures all over the place. They're waiting to get enough of the players in the new kit and all this lot to put them up on the wall. And that lot. Come back here in the end of May, all this will be stripped out. And they used to use this as the home dressing room of the league pop-up. They've had some big bands here. We've got AC/DC, the Rolling Stones, Robbie Williams, Beyonce, Muse, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Foo Fighters. When Beyonce was here, they did all this in pink chiffon, like a big ladies' dressing room for Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses. They did it all in black leather. They tried to theme it for the bands that are staying here. We had Iron Maiden here this year, so no idea what they did with it then, although Iron Maiden's Steve Parris, the bass player, is a big West Ham supporter, so it was like coming home for him. Right, I mentioned baseball, yeah? Major League Baseball is a big global brand, and the Americans are trying to get baseball advertised outside of their own country, same as they did with American football. So Tottenham's ground has an American football pitch built into it, and they host the Jacksonville Jaguars and other American football games during the NFL season.
Well.
Yeah, Wembley Stadium they play it.
Yeah.
So, baseball. They played baseball in 2019, 2023 and 2024. They're coming back again next year. Major League Baseball invested £10 million in the stadium building baseball clubhouses. All right? You've just come out of the West Ham home dressing room. If you're a West Ham fan, first time you see it, you get the buzz of, oh, this is our dressing room. By the time you've got here, you think, it's not that big. It's not that plush, really, is it? No, it's quite basic. Because West Ham don't own the stadium, there's limited stuff they can do with it. If we did, probably have a smashing home changing room in there. And MLB built 2 baseball clubhouses. The next thing you're going to see is the baseball clubhouse of the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going pitch side first, right? In a minute you're going to see that, but we're going to go pitch side first. We're going to end up in the Philadelphia Phillies baseball clubhouse. But just think what you've seen with West Ham's home dressing room and wait till you see this. I'll tell you more about it in the other surprise then. We're going to go and walk the pitch though to start with, okay? Now we can't go on the grass. If anybody goes on the grass, I get shot. So do you. All right, on the thing there. So we'll go out, we'll get as close to it as I can get you, but we can't go on it, all right? From the changing room to pitch side. So we come out the home dressing, we think they've got to come out along the corridor, they come up here. It's quite a long walk out there. So the referee gets everybody out. TV director in his ear. They've just shown an advert break on Sky or something, and he's telling them to get ready to go. So they're all lined up. Got a jostling, he's quite far apart, it's difficult to jostle with people. And this is the thing, if you talk to some of the old players, they get sick of you. People come around holding hands and shaking hands with the opposition. You said never do that in the old day, you'd be sort of headbutting them and pushing them and all this sort of thing. Anyway, they're all here, we're all lined up. 62,500 fans on their feet out there. They're all singing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, the West Ham song. It's all playing over their tannoy. You've got bubbles all the way around the end of the stadium here. Now, they are relaying the carpet out here, so don't go too far out. I'm going to pop out and get out and see where they're doing. We will go out there, we can't go on the pitch, all right? I've not been allowed on the pitch, and I've worked it for 3 years on the thing there, but we'll get out as close as we can, okay? So are we ready? Hang on then. Ready, Alfie? Right now, come on, let's lead the teams out, guys, and here we go.
You can say. Oi, oi, quick sneak peek, not that. What's in there? Not a lot. Not a lot.
Totally different perspective down here, isn't it? I apologise for all the bits. They are laying the new carpet down here. So we've got the badge installed now, and they're starting to put in all the branding over here. West Ham, the Academy of Football. As I said to you upstairs, founded in 1895 is Thames Ironworks. I thought you could be finished by now. Oh, I like it. We haven't won that in as well. We haven't won that in. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. That'd be good. Right. So this is the relay. This is the relay in 2017 in the World Athletics Championship. Now, if you bear in mind that lane 1's there, lane 8 is under those seats. So in order to reveal the whole running track, those seats have to get taken out and moved, which is why you are so far away from the pitch. Yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to have a quick laugh. Everybody come in a little bit. So, when West Ham left their old ground, the fans had 2 complaints. One, you're a long way from the pitch. Yes, you are. But a lot of the big stadiums, the Stade de France, and that one, they have running tracks. They've got big gaps and nobody worries. But their stadiums are quite vertical. So the Bernabeu and the Nou Camp, so you go up a long way, but you don't go out. Whereas here, it's like a bowl. The higher up you go, the further away you are. If West Ham hadn't moved here, we wouldn't have been able to buy the players we can. You can now double the capacity. We've got a good foundation to be successful. We just need the players to actually do it now. If they buy the stadium, they might be able to move some of this forward. If we don't have to have athletics here, we wouldn't need the track. You could move a lot of this further forward, right? Old ground, Upton Park, when I went as a boy, if they went to take a throw in, you could pat them on the back. You could knock the ball out of their hand. You know, you could pull their shorts if you wanted to. You were that close. The other thing they said about Upton Park was the noise. How intense the West Ham crowd were in the noise. Yes, if you were beating Tottenham 3-0 on a Wednesday night, it was rocking, everybody loved it. If you were losing 1-0 at home to Stoke in the rain, it wasn't so much fun. But the old ground were like little boxes, so you had a low roof, you had 2 side walls, you had a wall in front of you, the old Bobby Moore upper stand. If you were sat in there with 5,000 fans and everybody was singing, it echoed around your box. So it sounded very noisy, yeah? What we're going to do, on the count of 3, I would like everybody to shout Irons as loud as you can. All right, Irons is West Ham's nickname. When they come out, the crowd go, Irons, Irons. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, Irons, and then listen. Are we up for this? I'm going to do it. If I do it on my own, I look a right muppet, but it still works anyway. Are we ready then? So on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Irons!
Wow.
Hear that? Right, so that's 35 of us or something, and we've made that noise. Can you imagine 62,500 fans in here?
Aaron, can you take a picture of me sitting on the
Now, it's a weird thing. So the better the play, the more noise. You know, it's strange. Now, we have bubbles, so West Ham, these little green boxes here are bubble machines. So when West Ham come out at the start of the game, they launch all the bubbles, and whenever West Ham score a goal, they launch all the bubbles. We don't do that very often. Anyway, on the thing there. Right, if you want to take some photos here, please do, and then we're going to head back in. Yes, sir? You'll be on. They do from these stands on match day. Yeah. We can get them there. I don't think the cafe they have them. So that they started off at a place called Berlin Road in Cambridge. Yeah. And they moved up to a place called Brandon Road in Eastham, which is mine. Families didn't work out. So I'm still the memorial ground. It's still flat there, isn't it? Memorial ground. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get everybody else into. So, like request here, right? So we're going to go into the Philadelphia Phillies baseball clubhouse. So if you can remember back about 20 minutes how the West Ham home dressing room was, wait till you see this. There are 30 baseball teams. Right, we have shirts from all 30 teams in there. If you want your photo taken, that's fine. Please don't touch them. They are actually wired up and all this sort of thing. Plus, if everybody touches them, they get very dirty very quickly. Some of them are autographed. We've got the Red Sox and the Yankees autographed shirts for us. We've got some bits there. So that's number one. Number two, there are little videos running. And one of the videos shows the transformation of that pitch from football to baseball. If you know what a baseball stadium looks like, big diamond, it's difficult to imagine that out there, isn't it? You'll see it on the video. And the third thing, the special surprise, and it's only been in the stadium today as far as I know, we have an FA Cup in there. One of the ones that West Ham won, I'm not sure whether it was the 75 or the 81, but we managed to get hold of that. We can take photos of you in front of a green screen, right? Now, if you haven't taken it in the green screen, they go on a various variety of West Ham backgrounds, so you can be down the tunnel, on the pitch, that lot. And then if you haven't taken, you have the option to buy them later if you want to. If you do not want an official one, but you want to take a photo on your phone, then we'll take one for you. You're not allowed to lift it up, all right? But you can put your hand on one of the handles if we take a photo. Is that all right? Anyway, so Philadelphia Phillies baseball clubhouse. Are we ready? At the moment is the transformation from football to baseball. Have a quick look, you'll see how configurable that lower tier is. Right? It's quite amazing how you go from a green rectangle in an oval stadium to this great big diamond. It's crazy. Look at how they've reshaped the bottom tier of that stadium. So that 20 seconds worth was 2 weeks in real life on the thing there. Quite amazing, isn't it? Anyway, so while you're looking around here, so we've got shirts and caps and that from all of the teams. I'll get a baseball bat out in a minute as well. If you want your photo taken and you want like an official one, again, if you have it taken and you choose not to buy it, I'm not going to get cross with anybody, but you can review it on the computer screen outside. You can get them on fridge magnets, you can get them on key rings and all this sort of thing. Does anybody want their photo taken with the trophy? But West Ham do use the other one on a match day. does anybody else want an official photo taken here? Yeah. So if you do just want to take a photo, I mentioned the old stadium had lights on the outside, so they were big triangular lights on the outside of the roof. We now have 14 triangular lights hanging down internally from the new roof there. Anyway, let's go and have a look in the changing room here, shall we?
So September 13th.
Yeah, they'll be going in there, Aaron.
Well, I'll take two.
They might let the team on.
I was thinking of taking Terry or West Ham Tottenham, but I don't know if he's going to do it.
Up the steps at Wembley, lifts the FA Cup on behalf of West Ham. Yay! Right. So because they won the FA Cup, they qualified for this competition called the European Cup Winners' Cup. So there was one team from Spain, one from Italy, one from France, one from Germany, one from England. You had to win your domestic cup to qualify. Yeah? In 1965, the final was held at Wembley. West Ham get to the final. They play the German champions, 1860 Munich. West Ham win 2-0. A guy called Alan Seeley gets both the goals. So this is a shirt from the 1965 European Cup Winners' Cup. But Bobby Moore goes up the steps at Wembley, lifts the European Cup Winners' Cup on behalf of West Ham. Yay! Now, as all true football fans know, in 1966, West Ham won the World Cup. Yay! Bobby Moore, West Ham was captain. Jeff Hurst, West Ham, got 3 goals. Martin Peters, West Ham, got 1 goal. What were the other 8 players doing? We don't know. So officially it does say it's England, but we like to think that West Ham won the World Cup. But think on this, Bobby Moore went up the steps at Wembley and lifted a World Cup. 3 consecutive years he lifted a domestic cup, a European Cup and a World Cup. I doubt we'll see that ever again, do you? Anyway, 1975, this is a 1975 FA Cup final shirt when West Ham beat Fulham. And 1980, that's a real one, FA Cup final shirt where West Ham beat Arsenal. Now when Bobby Moore passed away, the footballers did not earn these stupid salaries they earn today. So when West Ham had a testimonial match, it was a West Ham All-Stars against the Premier League All-Stars, and all the money went to Bobby Moore's family, and everybody played with the same number on the back. I'm thinking that was a shirt they only had for that one game. Thames Ironworks, 1895. In 1995, West Ham bought out these 2 shirts here. This was the 100th anniversary. If you look closely, they have the number 100 in the weave in little bubbles. Bubbles 100, yeah? A couple more to show you. Excuse me, young man, that's fine. There we go. So the last ever game we played at Upton Park, West Ham used to have a castle on their badge. This was the Boleyn Castle. They put it on there when they moved to Upton Park. And this is the last time they ever wore a shirt with that badge on. They played Manchester United, 10th of May 2016, final game of the season. West Ham won 3-2. And a guy called Winston Reid from New Zealand got the winning goal about 5 minutes from the end. So that's the last time we wore that shirt and the crest. And then 2016 season came along. And gone is the castle. We've lost the castle off of the badge. We've got Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park on the front of the shirt there. And the first guy ever to score on that pitch, as I said, was this guy, Czech Kouyaté. He was number 8 for West Ham, and he got the goal in the 8th minute, on there in a European qualifying game. The only other shirts to show you over here. Oh, sorry, my friend, I stood on your toe there. There's a ladies' shirt there. Mark Noble, West Ham's old club captain, retired about 4 seasons ago now. That's one of his shirts from his last season here. 551 games he played for West Ham. Now, we see a lot of 500 game footballers, but I doubt we'll see many play 500 for one club again. And the last shirt to show you. So in 2023, West Ham won the Europa Conference League. They went off to Prague for the final on the 7th of June and beat Fiorentina, the Italian team, 2-1. Jared Bowen got the winning goal, last kick of the game almost there. Now the interesting thing with this shirt is this was our 3rd team shirt that season. First team shirt was claret and blue. Second team was a black shirt, and this was the 3rd one. And this is Thames Iron Works. This is the furnace. This is the iron again. So going back, through the history books, this is supposed to represent the furnace. And it's got a little phrase in the back of the shirt that says that the hotter the furnace, the stronger the iron. And they played in this in one of the away games early on, and they won, and they stuck with that shirt for the rest of the tournament. And it's a shirt they wore in the actual final there, with 23 champions on the back. There we go. If you want to take any photos in here, please do. Then we're going to pop next door. There's a couple of things to see in there. If you've had a photo taken, you'll be able to see them on the display, and I'll talk some more little bits in there. All good? Right, give you a